A scream shattered the humid Dubai night, echoing off gilded skyscrapers. The air smelled of oud and diesel, thick and choking. Neon lights flickered, painting the streets in electric blues and pinks. In the shadow of Burj Khalifa, a mystery began to unravel. Amir al-Mansouri, a millionaire, vanished from his penthouse life. His wife, Layla, was left with nothing but whispers. The city buzzed with rumors of his new lover, Zara. Amir's fortune, built on oil and secrets, seemed cursed. Layla's tears dried, replaced by a steely resolve. She wandered Dubai's souks, searching for answers. The scent of saffron and incense clung to her skin. Merchants haggled, their voices a chaotic symphony. Gold bangles clinked, catching the sun's dying rays. Layla's heart pounded, sensing eyes on her back. Someone followed her through the labyrinthine alleys. Her sandals slapped against ancient stone paths. A shadow darted behind a spice stall. Too quick. Fear coiled in her chest, sharp and cold. She clutched her phone, Amir's last message glowing. "Meet me at the Marina, midnight, alone." The words felt like a trap, not a promise. Dubai's marina glittered, yachts bobbing in oily water. The air tasted of salt and expensive perfume. Layla arrived, her silk abaya billowing in the breeze. Waves lapped against hulls, a restless, rhythmic pulse. She scanned the darkness, her pulse racing faster. Amir's yacht, Desert Star, loomed like a ghost. Its deck was empty, lights dimmed and nothing. A chill crawled up her spine, unnatural and heavy. Something was wrong, deeply, terribly wrong. She stepped aboard, the wood creaking beneath her. The air grew heavier, thick with metallic dread. A faint stain marred the polished deck floor. It looked like blood, dark and sticky. Layla's breath caught, her hands trembling violently. She knelt, touching the stain with hesitant fingers. It was still wet, warm against her skin. Her stomach churned, bile rising in her throat. A noise startled her, a low, guttural moan. It came from below deck, faint but unmistakable. Her heart thundered, urging her to flee. Instead, she descended the narrow, carpeted stairs. The air below was stale, reeking of decay. Dim lights flickered, casting jagged, menacing shadows. A figure slumped in the corner, barely human. It was Amir, his face pale, eyes glassy. Blood seeped from a gash on his temple. Layla froze, her scream trapped in her throat. He was alive, but barely, his breath shallow. She rushed him, her hands shaking uncontrollably. His lips moved, whispering something she could not hear. She leaned closer, her ear near his mouth. "Zara, she knows the twins," he rasped. The words hit like a punch to her gut. Twins? What twins? Her mind spun wildly. Amir's hand fell limp, his eyes closing. Panic surged, her pulse a deafening roar. She fumbled for her phone, dialing emergency services. The operator's voice was calm, infuriatingly slow. Layla's words tumbled out, frantic and jumbled. Police sirens wailed in the distance, approaching fast. She stood, her legs weak, knees buckling. The yacht felt like a coffin, closing in. Footsteps echoed above, heavy and deliberate. Someone else was on the Desert Star. Layla's heart stopped, her breath shallow and ragged. She hid behind a crate, her body trembling. The footsteps paused, then descended the stairs. A woman's silhouette appeared, sharp and elegant. It was Zara, Amir's lover, dressed in black. Her heels clicked, a predator's confident stride. Layla held her breath, her body pressed tight. Zara's perfume, jasmine and musk, filled the air. She stopped near Amir, her face unreadable. Her hand held a knife, glinting in the dim light. Layla's blood ran cold, her mind racing. Was Zara the one who attacked Amir? The knife dripped, a slow, crimson trickle. Zara's lips curled into a faint, chilling smile. She knelt beside Amir, her movements deliberate. Layla's nails dug into her palms, drawing blood. She wanted to scream, to run, to fight, but fear glued her to the shadows. Zara whispered something, her voice soft, venomous. Amir stirred, his eyes fluttering open briefly. Layla's heart ached, torn between fear and rage. Zara stood, wiping the knife on her sleeve. She turned, her gaze sweeping the room. Layla shrank deeper, her breath barely a whisper. The police sirens grew louder, closer now. Zara's head snapped toward the sound, alert. She cursed under her breath, her composure cracking. With a final glance at Amir, she fled. Layla exhaled, her body trembling with relief. She crawled to Amir, her hands cradling his face. His skin was cold, his pulse fading fast. Tears streamed down her cheeks, hot and silent. The police burst in, their voices sharp, commanding. Layla raised her hands, her voice breaking. "He is hurt, please, help him now." Paramedics rushed forward, their equipment clattering loudly. They worked fast, their hands steady, efficient. Layla watched, her heart a tangled mess. Who were the twins Amir mentioned? Why did Zara hold a bloody knife? The questions burned, searing her mind. Dubai's skyline glowed outside, indifferent and cold. The city hid secrets, buried in wealth. Layla's life was unraveling, thread by thread. She followed the paramedics, her steps unsteady. The Marina's lights blurred through her tears. Amir was loaded into an ambulance, lifeless. Layla climbed in, her hands still shaking. The ambulance doors slammed, a hollow thud. The vehicle sped through Dubai's glittering streets. Horns blared, tires screeched, chaos surrounded her. Layla's mind replayed Zara's chilling smile. That smile hid something dark, something sinister. The hospital loomed ahead, sterile and bright. Doctors shouted, their voices a frantic chorus. Layla waited, her body numb, heart pounding. Hours passed, each second an eternity. A doctor approached, his face grim, unreadable. "Mrs. Al-Mansuri, we need to talk." Her stomach dropped, dread pulling inside her. Amir's condition was critical, his survival uncertain. Layla nodded, her throat too tight to speak. She followed the doctor, her steps heavy. The hospital smelled of antiseptic and despair. White walls closed in, suffocating her thoughts. Amir's words echoed, "Zara, she knows." What did Zara know? What was hidden? Layla's hands clenched, her nails biting skin. She needed answers, no matter the cost. The doctor paused, his eyes avoiding hers. "There is something else you should know." Layla's heart skipped, her breath catching. Her world tilted, ready to shatter completely. The doctor's next words would change everything. The hospital's fluorescent lights buzzed, harsh and unrelenting. Layla's shoes squeaked on the polished linoleum floor. Antiseptic stung her nose, sharp and clinical. The doctor's words hung heavy, a suffocating weight. Amir mentioned twins before he collapsed. Layla's mind spun, her thoughts a tangled mess. She sat in a plastic chair, cold and hard. The waiting room smelled of bleach and fear. Machines beat faintly, a relentless, eerie rhythm. Her fingers twisted the hem of her abaya. The doctor returned, his face still grim. "Amir is stable, but he cannot speak." Layla nodded, her throat tight with dread. She needed answers, but Amir was silent. Zara's knife, that chilling smile, haunted her. What did Zara know about the twins? Layla stood, her legs unsteady, heart pounding. She left the hospital, stepping into Dubai's heat. The city pulsed with life, indifferent to her pain. Car horns blared, a chaotic urban symphony. Palm trees swayed, their fronds rustling softly. The air carried salt from the nearby Gulf. Layla hailed a taxi, her mind racing. She directed the driver to Amir's office tower. The glass building gleamed, reflecting Dubai's skyline. Its lobby was cool, marble echoing her steps. She rode the elevator, her stomach churning. The doors opened to Amir's private suite. His office smelled of leather and cigar smoke. Papers littered the desk, scattered like fallen leaves. Layla's fingers brushed a photo, old and faded. It showed her in a mirror, smiling younger. Her heart ached, memories sharp as knives. She rifled through drawers, searching for clues. A locked file cabinet resisted her efforts. She found a letter opener, its edge glinting. The lock gave way with a sharp snap. Inside were documents, stamped with red ink. They mentioned a trust fund, names unfamiliar. Two names stood out, Noor and Sammy. Twins, born 5 years ago in secret. Layla's breath caught, her pulse hammering wildly. Amir had children she never knew? The room spun, her vision blurring fast. She gripped the desk, steadying her trembling body. Footsteps echoed in the hallway, slow and deliberate. Layla froze, her heart in her throat. The door creaked open, revealing a security guard. His eyes narrowed, suspicious, scanning the room. "Who are you?" "This is private property." Layla stammered, her voice barely a whisper. "I am Amir's wife, looking for answers." The guard's radio crackled, voices cutting through. He stepped closer, his hand on his belt. Layla's eyes darted to the open drawer. She shoved the documents into her bag. The guard lunged, his fingers grazing her arm. She bolted, her sandals slapping the floor. The elevator dinged, doors sliding open slowly. Layla dove inside, her breath ragged, desperate. The guard shouted, his voice echoing behind. The doors closed, the elevator descending fast. Layla clutched her bag, the documents heavy. The lobby blurred as she ran outside. Dubai streets swallowed her, chaotic and vibrant. Neon signs glowed, casting eerie, colorful shadows. She ducked into an alley, heart pounding relentlessly. The air smelled of grilled kebabs and dust. Trash bins rattled, stirred by stray cats. Layla checked the documents, her hands shaking. The trust fund was worth millions, hidden. Noor and Sammy were listed as beneficiaries. A woman's name appeared, Zara al-Hassan. Layla's blood ran cold, her mind reeling. Zara was connected to the twins. Somehow, was she their mother, their guardian, or worse? Layla's phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. "Stop digging, or you'll regret it." Her skin prickled, fear crawling up her spine. She looked around, the alley suddenly menacing. Shadows shifted, or was it her imagination? A car engine roared nearby. Too close. Layla stuffed the phone into her pocket. She needed somewhere safe, somewhere to think. Her old apartment, abandoned, was her only option. She hailed another taxi, her voice trembling. The driver's eyes met hers in the mirror. They were sharp, too knowing, unsettling. Layla's stomach twisted, her nerves fraying fast. The taxi sped through Dubai's glittering streets. Skyscrapers loomed, their glass facades gleaming coldly. The air conditioner hummed, chilling her skin. She clutched the documents, her only leverage. The apartment building appeared, old and weathered. Its paint peeled, cracked by desert sun. Layla paid the driver, her hands unsteady. She climbed the stairs, the air musty. Her old home smelled of dust and memories. The furniture was gone, walls bare, empty. She locked the door, her breath shallow. Layla spread the documents on the floor. Each page revealed more about Amir's secrets. The twins were born in a private clinic. Zara's signature appeared on hospital records. Layla's mind raced, piecing fragments together. Amir had hidden a family, a betrayal. Her chest tightened, anger replacing fear. She needed to confront Zara, to know why. A knock at the door startled her. Her heart stopped, her body tensing instantly. She crept to the peephole, peering cautiously. A woman stood outside, her face obscured. Layla's hand hovered over the doorknob, frozen. The woman knocked again, harder, insistent. "Layla, open the door, we must talk." The voice was Zara's, smooth, commanding. Layla's pulse roared, her mind screaming danger. She backed away, her breath hitching. The doorknob rattled, someone testing the lock. Layla grabbed the documents, her hands fumbling. She stuffed them under a loose floorboard. The rattling stopped, replaced by silence. Layla waited, her body pressed against the wall. Minutes passed, the quiet deafening, oppressive. She checked the peephole, seeing nothing. Zara was gone, or so it seemed. Layla's phone buzzed again, another message. "You cannot hide. I know everything." Her blood froze, her hands trembling violently. She needed help, someone she could trust. Her cousin, Khalid, was a private investigator. She dialed his number, her voice shaking. "Khalid, I need you. It is urgent. He promised to come, his tone serious. Layla paced, the apartment closing in. The city outside hummed, alive, uncaring. Car horns echoed, a distant, relentless drone. She checked the floorboard, documents still hidden. Khalid arrived, his footsteps heavy, familiar. He hugged her, his cologne grounding her. Tell me everything, Layla, from the beginning. She recounted the yacht, Amir, the twins. Khalid listened, his eyes narrowing with concern. Zara is dangerous, connected to powerful people. Layla's heart sank, dread pulling inside her. Khalid examined the documents, his brow furrowed. These trusts are tied to offshore accounts. Layla's mind spun, the stakes growing higher. Who were Noor and Sammy, really? Was Zara protecting them or something else? Khalid's phone rang, his face darkening. He answered, his voice low, urgent. Layla watched, her stomach knotting tightly. Khalid hung up, his expression grim. Amir's condition worsened. He is in surgery. Layla's knees buckled, her world tilting. She needed to see him to know more. Khalid grabbed her arm, his grip firm. We cannot go yet. It is not safe. Layla's eyes burned, tears threatening to fall. Zara's threats echoed, chilling her bones. The apartment felt like a trap now. Dubai's lights flickered outside, cold and distant. Layla's resolve hardened, her fear turning to fire. She would find the truth, no matter what. Khalid's radio crackled, a voice cutting through. Suspect spotted near the Marina, armed. Layla's heart raced, her mind on Zara. Was she circling back, hunting for her? The night was far from over. Dubai's night air was thick, heavy with tension. Layla's pulse raced, her breath sharp and shallow. Khalid's warning echoed, his voice low, urgent. Zara was near the Marina, armed, dangerous. Layla clutched the hidden documents, her lifeline. The apartment's walls pressed in, suffocating her. Outside, the city hummed, its pulse relentless. Neon lights cast jagged shadows on the street. The air smelled of diesel and distant spices. Khalid's radio crackled, spitting out urgent updates. Suspect moving toward Jamira, possibly tailing someone. Layla's stomach twisted, her fear spiking wildly. Was Zara hunting her, closing in fast? Khalid grabbed her arm, his grip tight. We must move now, somewhere safer. Layla nodded, her heart pounding like drums. They slipped out, the stairwell dark, musty. Each step creaked, amplifying her racing thoughts. The street outside buzzed, alive with chaos. Taxis honked, their horns piercing the night. Layla's abaya caught on a rusty railing. The fabric tore, a sharp, ripping sound. Khalid pulled her forward, his eyes scanning. They ducked into a crowded souk, bustling. The air was thick with incense and sweat. Vendors shouted, their voices a chaotic chorus. Silk scarves brushed Layla's arms, soft, fleeting. Her eyes darted, searching for Zara's silhouette. Every shadow seemed to hide a threat. Khalid whispered, stay close, keep moving. They wove through stalls, the crowd swallowing them. The scent of roasted coffee stung her nose. Layla's phone vibrated. Another chilling message. You cannot run. I see you. Her blood froze, her hands trembling violently. She showed Khalid, his face hardening instantly. He pulled her into a narrow alley. The walls were damp, reeking of mildew. Trash crunched underfoot, brittle and sharp. Layla's heart thundered, her breath catching fast. A figure appeared at the alley's end. Zara, her black dress blending with shadows. Her eyes glinted, cold, predatory, unyielding. Layla's legs froze, her body betraying her. Khalid stepped forward, his stance protective, firm. Zara, stop this. What do you want? Her laugh was sharp, cutting through the air. You think you can unravel his secrets? Layla's voice shook, but she found words. Who are Noor and Sammy? Tell me. Zara's smile widened, cruel and knowing. Amir's children. Hidden protect them. Layla's world tilted, her mind reeling chaotically. Amir had a secret family, a betrayal. Her chest burned, anger mixing with shock. Zara stepped closer, her knife gleaming faintly. The blade caught the alley's dim light. Layla's breath hitched, her body tensing. Khalid pushed her back, his voice steady. "Back off, Zara, or you'll regret it." Zara's eyes flicked to him, calculating, cold. "You are out of your depth, investigator." A car screeched nearby, tires burning rubber. The sound shattered the alley's tense silence. Zara flinched, her confidence wavering briefly. Layla seized a moment, her fear turning bold. She lunged, grabbing Zara's wrist, twisting hard. The knife clattered to the ground, metallic. Zara snarled, her nails clawing Layla's arm. Pain seared, hot blood trickling down skin. Khalid tackled Zara, pinning her against the wall. Her screams echoed, wild, almost inhuman. Layla scooped up the knife, hands shaking. The blade felt heavy, cold, and wrong. She backed away, her heart pounding relentlessly. Khalid zip-tied Zara's wrists, his movements swift. Her eyes burned with rage, unyielding, fierce. "You will never find them." Zara spat. Layla's mind raced, the twins consuming her thoughts. Where were Noor and Sammy now? Police sirens wailed, growing louder, closer. Khalid pulled Layla away, urgency in his grip. "We cannot stay here. She has allies." They ran, the alley blurring past them. Dubai's skyline loomed, its lights cold, indifferent. The air tasted of salt and fear. Layla's arm throbbed, blood staining her sleeve. They reached a main road, crowded, chaotic. People pushed past, their voices a loud hum. Layla's phone buzzed again, another message. "Check the clinic on Al-Wazil Road." Her heart skipped, the sender unknown again. Khalid frowned, reading over her shoulder. It could be a trap, Layla, careful. She nodded, but resolve burned inside her. The twins were real, and she needed answers. They hailed a taxi, the driver silent. The car smelled of cheap air freshener. Dubai Street sped by, a neon blur. The clinic loomed, its sign flickering faintly. Its windows were dark, the building quiet. Layla's stomach knotted, her nerves fraying fast. They stepped out, the air cool heavy. The clinic's door was locked, glass smudged. Khalid pulled a tool, picking the lock. The door clicked open, a hollow sound. Inside, the air was stale, faintly medicinal. Fluorescent lights flickered, casting eerie, pale shadows. Layla's footsteps echoed, her heart pounding loudly. Files lined the walls, papers yellowed, dusty. She scanned them, searching for Noor, Sammy. A folder caught her eye, labeled Al-Mansuri. Her hands trembled, opening it with care. Birth records listed twins born to Zara. Layla's breath caught, her world spinning again. Zara was their mother, Amir the father. But another name appeared, a doctor's signature. Dr. Faisal, the same from Amir's files. Layla's mind raced, connections forming fast. Was Faisal part of this dark secret? Khalid whispered, "We are not alone." A shadow moved, deep in the clinic. Layla's heart stopped, her body tensing. Footsteps echoed, slow, deliberate, menacing. She clutched the folder, her only proof. Khalid pulled her toward a side exit. The door was jammed, rusted shut. Panic surged, her pulse a deafening roar. The shadow grew closer, a man's silhouette. His face was hidden, his presence chilling. Layla's eyes darted, searching for escape. A window nearby, cracked, offered hope. Khalid smashed it, glass shattering loudly. Shards cut his hand, blood dripping fast. He pushed Layla through, her abaya tearing. The night air hit her, sharp, refreshing. They ran, the clinic fading behind them. Dubai Street swallowed them, chaotic, alive. The folder burned in Layla's hands, heavy. It held truths she could barely grasp. Zara's words echoed, "You will never find them." But Layla had found something, a lead. The twins existed, tied to Amir's betrayal. Her anger grew, a fire-consuming fear. Khalid panted, his hand bleeding, wrapped. "We need to hide, regroup plan." Layla nodded, her resolve hardening further. They slipped into a small cafe, crowded. The air smelled of cardamom and espresso. Patrons chattered, their voices a soft hum. Layla opened the folder, her hand steady now. A photo slipped out, small, worn, crumpled. It showed two children, smiling, innocent. Noor and Sammy, their eyes like Amir's. Layla's heart ached, betrayal cutting deep. Khalid's phone rang, his face paling. He answered, his voice low, tense. The police lost Zara. She escaped. Layla's blood ran cold, her fear returning. Zara was free, her threat still alive. The cafe's warmth felt false, a fragile shield. Layla's mind spun, the twins her focus. Where were they? Who was hiding them? Dr. Faisal's name burned in her thoughts. She needed to find him, confront him. Khalid grabbed her hand, his eyes serious. We will track Faisal, but carefully. Layla nodded, her heart a tangled mess. The city outside pulsed, its secrets buried deep. Zara was out there, watching, waiting. Layla's resolve grew, her fear fueling courage. She would uncover the truth, no matter what. The cafe's door swung open, a gust entering. A man stood there, his face familiar. Layla's breath caught, her world tilting again. Dr. Faisal was here, now, watching her. The cafe's air grew thick, heavy with dread. Dr. Faisal stood in the doorway, eyes locked on Layla. His coat smelled of antiseptic, sharp and cold. Layla's heart pounded, her hands clutching the folder. Khalid tensed, his hand on her arm. The cafe's chatter faded, a tense hush falling. Neon lights outside flickered, casting eerie shadows. Faisal's smile was thin, unsettling, calculated. He stepped forward, his shoes clicking on tiles. Layla's throat tightened, her breath shallow, ragged. You have something that belongs to me. His voice was smooth, laced with menace. Layla gripped the folder, her knuckles whitening. Khalid stood, his stance protective, unyielding. Back off, Faisal. She knows enough. Faisal's eyes narrowed, glinting like polished steel. The air smelled of coffee and fear. Layla's pulse roared, her mind racing wildly. She needed answers, not more threats. Faisal leaned closer, his breath warm, sour. Noor and Sammy are not what you think. Layla's heart skipped, her world tilting violently. The twins were not just Amir's secret. Faisal's words hung, heavy with hidden meaning. Khalid grabbed Layla, pulling her toward the exit. The cafe's door slammed, wind rushing in. They ran into Dubai's chaotic, glittering streets. Car horns blared, a relentless urban scream. The air tasted of salt and burning fuel. Layla's abaya snagged on a street sign. The fabric tore, exposing her trembling arm. Blood from Zara's scratch still stained her skin. Khalid led her to a hidden alley. The walls were damp, reeking of decay. Trash crunched underfoot, sharp and gritty. Layla's chest heaved, her breath catching fast. She opened the folder, hands shaking violently. A new document caught her eye, crumpled. It listed a lab, buried in Dubai's outskirts. The name was Cryptic, Genesis Project. Layla's mind spun, questions flooding her thoughts. What was Faisal hiding about the twins? Khalid scanned the alley, his eyes sharp. We need to find that lab, now. Layla nodded, her resolve hardening like steel. They hailed a taxi, its engine rumbling. The driver's eyes flickered, too curious, unsettling. Dubai's skyline blurred, its lights cold, distant. The lab was far, hidden in desert dunes. Sand stung Layla's face through the window. The air grew dry, heavy with dust. Her phone buzzed, a message from Zara. You are walking into a trap, Layla. Her blood froze, her hands trembling uncontrollably. Khalid read the text, his jaw tightening. She is playing games, trying to scare you. Layla's stomach churned, doubt creeping in. The taxi stopped, desert stretching endlessly around. A low building loomed, its walls weathered. Its windows were dark, reflecting the moon. Layla's heart pounded, her nerves fraying fast. They approached the lab, its door rusted. Khalid forced it open, metal groaning loudly. Inside, the air was sterile, faintly chemical. Fluorescent lights buzzed, casting stark, cold shadows. Glass vials lined shelves, glinting ominously. Layla's footsteps echoed, her breath hitching. A computer hummed in a corner, screen glowing. She typed, searching for Noor and Sammy. Files loaded, revealing medical charts, strange codes. The twins were not born naturally, it said. Layla's breath caught, her world shattering again. They were created, engineered in this lab. Faisal's name appeared, tied to experiments. Her mind reeled, the truth too horrific. Amir funded this, his wealth fueling secrets. Zara was involved, her role unclear, dark. Layla's hands shook, scrolling through more files. Photos showed children identical in sterile rooms. Noor and Sammy, their faces hauntingly familiar. But another photo appeared, a third child. Layla's heart stopped, her blood running cold. The child was her, a younger version. Her face stared back, frozen in time. She stumbled back, her knees buckling fast. Khalid caught her, his eyes wide, shocked. "What is this? Layla, what is happening?" Her voice broke, words barely forming. "I am part of this, somehow, Khalid." The lab's silence was deafening, oppressive, heavy. A door creaked open, footsteps echoing nearby. Faisal's voice called out calm, chilling. "You should not have come here, Layla." Her pulse roared, panic flooding her veins. Khalid pulled her behind a metal cabinet. Its surface was cold, slick with condensation. Faisal's steps grew closer, deliberate, unhurried. Layla's heart thundered, her breath barely audible. She clutched the folder, her only proof. Faisal's shadow loomed, stretching across the floor. His cologne stung her nose, sharp, clinical. You cannot undo what Amir started. Layla's mind raced, piecing together fragments. Was she engineered like the twins? Her entire life felt like a lie. Khalid whispered, "We need to move now." They crept toward an emergency exit. The door was heavy, rusted, resisting them. Layla pushed, her muscles straining, desperate. It gave way, sand blowing in fiercely. They stumbled into the desert, night swallowing them. Stars glittered above, cold and indifferent. The air was dry, gritty against her skin. Layla's phone buzzed again, another message. "Look behind you. I am watching." Her blood chilled, her head whipping around. Nothing but dunes, endless and silent. Khalid grabbed her hand, pulling her forward. "We cannot stop. Faisal is close." They ran, sand slipping beneath their feet. Layla's lungs burned, her throat raw, dry. The lab's lights faded, swallowed by darkness. A car engine roared, headlights cutting through. Layla's heart leapt, fear gripping her tightly. The vehicle sped closer, its tires crunching sand. Khalid pushed her down, behind a dune. The car stopped, doors slamming loudly. Faisal's voice carried, sharp, commanding orders. Layla peeked, her breath shallow, trembling. Two men joined him, armed, scanning the desert. Their flashlights sliced through the dark, relentless. Layla's heart pounded, her body pressed low. The folder dug into her side. Heavy. Khalid whispered, "We need a plan, fast." Layla's mind raced, her fear fueling courage. She remembered the lab security cameras. If she could access them, expose Faisal. Her fingers fumbled, pulling out her phone. The signal was weak, flickering, unreliable. She typed fast, hacking the lab's network. Screens loaded, showing live feeds inside. Faisal was there, destroying files, frantic. Layla recorded it, her hands shaking violently. This was evidence, proof of his crimes. Khalid's eyes widened, impressed, but tense. "Good work, but we are not safe." The men's flashlights swept closer, beams blinding. Layla's heart raced, her breath catching fast. They crawled backward, sand clinging to skin. The desert was vast, offering no shelter. A new sound emerged, faint, mechanical. A drone hummed above, its light scanning. Layla's stomach dropped, technology betraying them. Faisal's voice crackled through a speaker. "You cannot hide, Layla. I know everything." Her blood ran cold, her world unraveling. Was she a product of his experiments? The twins, her, all tied to Genesis. Khalid pulled her up, urging her to run. They sprinted, the drones growing louder. Sand stung her eyes, blurring her vision. Her legs burned, her strength fading fast. A new light appeared, not Faisal's men. Police sirens wailed, cutting through the night. Layla's hope flared, fragile but fierce. The drone veered, its lights swinging away. Faisal's men shouted, their voices panicked. Layla and Khalid ducked behind another dune. The police closed in, their beams sweeping. Layla's phone pinged, a final message. You are one of us, Layla. Always. Her heart stopped, the word searing deep. Who sent it? Zara, Faisal, or another? The desert stretched on, hiding more secrets. Layla's resolve burned, her questions multiplying. She would uncover the truth, no matter what. The police lights grew brighter, salvation nearing. But something felt wrong, deeply, terribly wrong. Faisal's smile flashed in her mind, knowing. The truth was bigger, darker than she imagined. Layla's world was no longer her own.